Hey, what's up, guys and gals? My name is Rick 9G. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about the TV show, The Honeymooners. Now, this is an epic show that was very popular in the 1950s, and people still continue to watch it. And I'm going to talk about what happened during the filming of the Christmas episode. I think this is pretty awesome. I think some of you may know about this, but a lot of you don't, and I think it's absolutely unbelievable. So don't forget to thumbs up this video, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment. Those are the best ways that you can support the channel, and it's all for free. The episode is called 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. It aired December 24th, 1955. And it was very simple in terms of the premise. It was the 13th episode in which Ralph Cramden sell his bowling ball to get a last-minute Christmas present for his wife, Alice. Now, it's a great episode with a lot of funny laughs between Norton and Ralph, and just everyone was on point in this episode. It was so funny, and it was one of those great stories that you just love to watch and know about. And it even had a great message at the end with a very poetic monologue from Jackie Gleason that I think was simply perfect. I'm actually going to read you the monologue before I get to what happens right after it, which again is a surprise for some, and for others, something you may not have seen. So Ralph Cramden says this, and I quote, "You know something, sweetheart? Christmas is, well, it's about the best time of the whole year. When you walk down the streets, even for weeks before Christmas comes, and there's lights hanging up, green ones and red ones. Sometimes there's snow, and everyone's hustling someplace. But they don't hustle around Christmas time like they usually do. You know, they're a little more friendlier. They bump into you. They laugh and they say, 'Pardon me, Merry Christmas,' especially when it gets real close to Christmas night. Everybody's walking home. You can hardly hear a sound. Bells are ringing. Kids are singing. The snow is coming down. And boy, what a pleasure it is to think that you've got some place to go to. And that the place you're going to, there's somebody in it that you really love. Someone you're nuts about. Merry Christmas." And I think it's such a wonderful thing. It sounded so spur of the moment, but it was so well written. And then you get the surprising moment that here's what happened. When this showed up in the reruns, there was a bit of a problem because during syndication for many, many years, the end of this broadcast was cut. But since then, it has been replaced. So you may watch some of these episodes if you ever watch this on TV, where the episode ends right here, where he says Merry Christmas, and there's the outro, and boom. But what actually happens is he breaks character. He says something really, really interesting. As the curtain closes, Gleason pushes it aside. He almost stops the curtain from closing and says, "Wait a minute." And he breaks out of character and begins talking to the audience, and it has the entire cast come out to take a bow, and he wishes everybody a Merry Christmas. Now, this is what he says. So after he finishes his monologue and says Merry Christmas, he says, "Wait a minute. Hold up. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you. Thank you." He says it 3 times, and he continues, "Ladies and gentlemen, we usually don't step out of character." He pauses, and he says, "But tonight, I think it's proper that Mr. and Mrs. Cramden and Mr. and Mrs. Norton wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Would you come in there, Nortons?" There they are, he says. And that's where it ends, where the 4 of them are looking at the camera with the actual apartment, or the inside of the apartment in view, and they're looking at the audience. The 4th wall is broken, and you hear a great applause from the audience. It's a great moment. It's something that I mentioned that you don't always see it in reruns. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. There was always a mix-up because it kind of breaks the flow of what's going on, and it wasn't common for them at all to break character, to stop what they were doing. But I think the monologue actually moved Jackie Gleason. Even though it was such a powerful thing that he said, I think in the moment with the cameras rolling, with the audience there, with the silence, I think he felt a little bit of the joy of Christmas, the joy of Jesus, and he just said this. He wanted to bring everyone out and just wish everyone a Merry Christmas, and I just think it was such an awesome moment, such an iconic moment that if you watch it during Christmas time especially, I think there's nothing that even comes close to it. This is something that you don't really see on I Love Lucy or any other shows from the 50s. I think it's really cool. Let me know your thoughts down below. Now, have you seen this episode? And have you seen it with the ending part with when he breaks the fourth wall. Did you see it with that part, or maybe seen it without, or maybe you've seen both of them? I would love to know and love to see your comments down below. Thank you so much for continuing to make my Christmas special so successful. It is by your views, by your watching, your liking, commenting, subscribing. It really means a lot. We'll see you all next time, and don't forget, everyone, be hopeful. A really big thank you to all my Diamond tier patrons: Jerry D, Stacy L, Scott R, Citizen Kane 359, Jennifer P, David D, Kevin K, Sally N, and Vito L. If you want to be on this list or receive exclusives as a great way to support the channel, visit my Patreon description below. Thank you.